It's gonna be May. And maybe that's all it took for Juan Soto to hit a home run at Citi Field. Why not two? A buy one, get one free special. You didn't think you'd get a discount on a $765 million contract. The month of May has begun, and unfortunately, it didn't start great for the New York Mets on Thursday afternoon as they lose again 4-2 to the Arizona Diamondbacks the day after they lost 4-3 to the Diamondbacks. You're watching Mets Daily. I'm your host, Jake Brown. Make sure you subscribe to Mets Daily. Smash that thumbs up below. Comment below what you think of the game, what you think of the loss, and follow me at Jake Brown Radio. Well, it's a new month. The Mets are still in first place. It's not the end of the world, but obviously a very frustrating series. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the schedule police will continue to say now more than ever, they'll scream it into a microphone. I won't. That the Mets, look, they played a good team in the Diamondbacks and they lost. See, when they play good teams, they lose. Well, good teams lose series to good teams. Good teams lose series to bad teams. Teams lose series. That's baseball, Susan. And yes, they lost the series to a good team, and they're frustrating things to take away from it. So let's get into it today. First off, Kodai Senga 4 innings. That can't happen. Senga has been brilliant. He only gave up a run. He was battling a virus that's been going around the clubhouse the last couple of weeks. So, let's cut him some slack today. He probably was not 100% out there. He got them 4 good innings. But that trickle-down effect of 4 good innings and meaning that you need 5 from your bullpen when you don't have an off day till next Thursday is spelling for disaster for the Mets. It really is. With the injuries, with guys going back-to-backs, it's disaster for this team. And that didn't set them up for success. The offense, not doing anything, didn't set them up for success. Besides Juan Soto, great to see it. I think we've all been waiting for it. He hit 2. They both went to the opposite field. Man, if he came back up again in the 9th inning, you just felt, hey, maybe he hits a third and puts the team on his back. Unfortunately, they did nothing else. And again, back-to-back days, back-to-back games, runners in scoring position in less than 2 outs. Got to get the run home. Hit a fly ball. It's called situational hitting. And Mark Vientos, in back-to-back nights, strikes out in a big spot. Mark Vientos has not been good so far. And you're right to criticize him. Are you right to say send him down? Are you right to say he should lose his job? No. No shot in hell. But does Mark Vientos need a mental day, not DHing or playing third base? Yes. I think he needs a day to get right. That might not do anything. He slowly started coming around, but man, you got to get a fly ball there and get that run home in the bottom of the 8th. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Now, I thought leading up to it, it was a terrible hold at third base. Now, listen, before you say, Jake, it's Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso was pulling into third as the throw was coming in, and that's when the ball by the cutoff man was dropped and bounced away. If Sarball had waited to stop him until he saw if the cutoff guy caught the ball, I think he sends him and he scores and the game's tied. And it only became a big deal because Vientos strikes out. Nimmo swings at what would have been ball 4, and then he doesn't swing at strike 3 and a pitch right down the middle. Just a monster, frustrating series of events on that Winker double and then 2 straight strikeouts. And then bottom of the 9th, they had nothing. So that was frustrating. Another frustrating element, where's Edwin Diaz? In that 9th inning, where is Edwin Diaz? And, let me get into that here. Let me get into Carlos Mendoza. And Carlos Mendoza has been a remarkable manager for the Mets. I like Mendoza. I'm not saying he should be fired. I'm not saying he's bad. He has had a horrific series of events as manager. First off, today, 1-run game. I mean, where is he? I know it's not a safe situation, but you didn't use him last night in a 1-run game. Last night was much worse than today. At least today he used Reed Garrett, who hasn't given up a run. And, of course, Reed Garrett gave up a run. And, again, it didn't mean anything because they didn't score in the bottom of the 9th. But, I mean, where is Edwin Diaz? Wasn't used this whole series. And you'll use him 5-0 in mop-up duty one week, but he can't be used in a game where you're down a run and you want to hold it because this team shows comeback ability that they can get back in games. So why in a 1-run game not have your best pitcher out there? They put Garrett in. Last night it made less sense. Putting Chris Davinsky in a second inning, the kid just arrived at the start of the game. He just got to the ballpark after getting called up, and we'll talk about reinforcements in a bit. But having Davinsky in a second inning, what are you doing? And that actually made a difference because he gave up 2 runs in the ninth. Mets would have won the game. So last night was just a brain-dead decision by Carl. I mean, there is absolutely no excuse for last night. That made no... I mean, this kid... What are you doing? That can't happen. You know, I think if Mendoza had it back, he would not have done that. I mean, that was just stupidity. You got your 4 1/3 out of Waddell, who, by the way, is he out of the game? Like, here's what I'm not getting. Your starters aren't going deep enough. Your relievers are gassed. You lost Young and Minter. You're down so many guys. You're getting a 6th starter yesterday, and Waddell, Braziman started and Waddell. Keep him going. You put Stanek in, who has lost it. 3 straight games, Stanek's giving up runs. Enough. Enough Stanek in high leverage roles right now. He needs a break. Waddell is cruising. He's at 60 pitches. He was a starter in AAA. How was a starter with 60 too many? He should have stayed in. Stanek implodes. And then the Davinsky thing. You got your inning out of him. Great. Why have him in for the 9th? And that was the difference of the game. They lose 4-3. That was the difference. A 2-1 game becomes 4-1, and 3 runs was too much. The Mets scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th. But, man, if Diaz is in there, he keeps it 2-1, I'm confident the Mets end up winning in the bottom of the 9th because they ended up scoring 2 runs. So they would have won. So last night made no sense. Today as well, Ty Adcock? What are we doing? This guy sucked last year for the Mets. Shouldn't even be on the roster. He's here because of all these injuries. Genesis Cabrera gives up a run in his debut for the Mets. I'm fine with Cabrera up. You need a lefty. You knew he was probably going to be the next man in line with Minter and Young down. Why is Ty Adcock in for 1 out? Luckily, he got out of that jam, but he loads the bases. I'm like, I don't know. Mendoza, there's something going on there that isn't lining up. And not using Diaz, Sunday, then not using Diaz Tuesday, not using Diaz Wednesday, using Davinsky for a second inning Tuesday, pulling Waddell Tuesday. These are Terry Collins in-game decisions. We all love Terry. Terry's a great guy. Was good off-the-field manager. He sucked in games. Terry Collins had some brutal moments in games. Mickey Callaway, won't even mention brutal. Luis Rojas, one of the worst managers in Mets history. Those guys had some horrible in-game management. Mendoza these last couple of days and last week have had horrible in-game management. And when your team's not scoring with runners in scoring position, it doesn't help. 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position last night. You have to get these guys home. But your manager in 1-run game, 2-run games on a team with massive, massive expectations of a potential championship, he's going to get critiqued. He's going to get criticized, and rightfully so when you're in New York City. Last year, OMG Grimace was fun. Now it's about trying to get a championship. So Mendoza's going to be criticized. I don't should be fired. Still a good manager, but something's been up with him. Brutal week at the helm as a manager for the Mets. So let me know if you agree. Am I being a little too hard on Mendoza? Obviously, players got to get it done. They got to hit. I mentioned that. Got to hit with running in scoring position. Approach has got to be better. But the manager in close games can't be making these brain-dead decisions like keeping Chris Davinsky, who arrived at the ballpark mid-game. It was like Rajay Davis in the Uber. You're not getting the Rajay Davis home run fresh out the Uber again. I'm sorry. You're not getting that in the second inning out of Davinsky. And Davinsky replacing a bullpen that's without A.J. Minter now, probably done for the year. Danny Young done for the year. These reinforcements are going to have to come in and help this team right now. Because this is not a position on May 1st where you're making trades and acquiring guys and getting guys left and right. It's just not going to happen. So you need Genesis Cabrera to maybe step up here. Ty Adcock, I hope he's gone. I mean, this guy's not good. Can we stop? Can we stop with these 4A pitchers? We've seen this before. I don't even need to go through the list. You'll have nightmares. Can we stop with these guys? Davinsky, he gets option today, so he, maybe he ate that second inning to save some guys, but he's down. Cabrera's up. Adcock's up. Waddell, I expect to be back. He was great. But these 26 through 40 I talked about, 27 through 40 guys, have to step up now. They need help from the reinforcements until Brooks Raley's back in 6 to 8 weeks, next month sometime, until maybe someone's available on the scrap heap. This bullpen is without guys. Starter's got to pitch longer, and Reed Garrett has to be great like he's been outside of today. And they're going to have to rely on Edwin Diaz, like one-run games, whether it's a lead or a deficit. Diaz is going to have to be in, and he's going to have to get the job done. But you got to battle through these injuries. You just lost 2 lefties for the season, so you can't really afford to lose more. So he's in a tough spot. He doesn't want to overuse guys, but he also can't underuse guys. He's got to go to his best when you need your best. This is Mets Daily. It's May 1st. Tomorrow we'll preview the Cardinals series. 3 in St. Louis for the Mets to try and rebound. All is still gravy. 3-game lead, 21-11. Juan Soto's on the board at Citi Field with 2 homers. The Mets are rocking and rolling. Mark Vienna's got to be better. Nimmo's got to be better. This lineup's got to be better. And you see what this lineup is without Acuna. They do not have that spark plug that's Luis Angel Acuna. Smash that thumbs up. Subscribe and share the Mets Daily channel. Jake Brown Radio on all social medias. We'll talk to you tomorrow on a happy Friday. Happy May, everybody. And let's go Knicks tonight. Let's get that W. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Mets Daily. Thanks for watching.